I'm coming across a lot of people who are struggling with anxiety, and sometimes even I struggle with anxiety. And essentially, anxiety is usually associated with something related to do with our future, in terms of what's going to happen in the future. Is everything going to turn out well? And that's essentially when we feel that we don't have any hope for the future. We feel that we are absolutely wasting our time. We are uncertain about how things will turn out. We feel we are good for nothing. All kinds of thoughts come, and that's the time when anxiety comes. So what happens when we have that anxiety? Essentially, we have two things happen, and that's very important for us to realize. And those two things are, one is that a particular thought, whatever that thought is, it is absorbing our attention. And all our attention is going in that one or two thought, which is making us feel anxious. And the second thing is we start believing that thought. So one is the thought absorbs our attention, and the second is we start believing the story or whatever that thought is telling us, and that is creates all the physiological reactions in our body, palpitations, butterflies in the stomach, and all of that stuff happens, which we know when we feel anxious, nervous, less than confident. So what do we know? What can we do to manage this anxiety? I'm reminded of one anecdote someone told me, that once somebody goes to a pub in England, could be anywhere, and he drinks a lot, and then after a while, he feels everything is shaking, and then as he sees everything is shaking, he comes across one board which says, if you feel that the world is shaking, then you better sit down. Which means often when we are anxious, we feel our whole inner world is coming apart. Our thoughts are racing from one thing to the other. We are feeling hopeless, and we feel that, and those moments are very, very overwhelming for us. So the best thing really to do when you are anxious and when you're filled with all these kind of negative thoughts, conflicting thoughts, fearful thoughts, the best thing to do is to do nothing. Really speaking, to do nothing, which means, if I were to put it in a practical way, perhaps the best thing for you to is just sit down. Maybe if you find it even difficult to sit down, you can just lie down. And what you can do is, you can just begin by watching what's happening in your inner world. And when I say the inner world, it essentially means you can start by watching what are the sensations that are happening in your body. It could be either in your stomach, it could be either in your chest, it could be either in your throat, it could be either in just observe the sensation. The sensations in themselves are not so harmful. It's the thoughts that we create, the stories that we create, that overwhelm us. The other thing that you can do when you're anxious is watch the thoughts. When you are able to just watch your thoughts, you're able to create space between you and your thoughts. You don't start buying the story that your thoughts are telling you. And the third thing that you can also do is just watch your breathing. The more you get connected to your breath, the more you get connected to your body, the more you anchor yourself in your being, in your consciousness. And the more you're able to take your attention away from the story of your thoughts into your awareness, into your consciousness, into your presence, the more rooted you become, the more anchored you become. So you can just imagine, as though when you get anxious, when you get overwhelmed with those feelings, when you can remain still and rooted, it's almost like a storm of emotions and feelings and thoughts are coming. And if you can be rooted in that moment, the storm will come and it will pass, and you will be able to go through the storm. But it's also equally important for you to have some practice of sitting still. You can call it meditation, mindfulness, so that when the storm comes, you're able to withstand that storm. I'll end with a small quote by Blaise Pascal, who's a French philosopher. He says, most of humankind's problems are because of our inability to sit quietly in a room all by ourselves. So if you have any experiences to share related to dealing with anxiety, or certain methods or tips that have really worked for you, it would be nice for us to know. You can share it in the comment section. And if you want to reach out to me in any particular manner, again you can mention that in the comment section and I'll reach out to you. So namaste, goodbye, and God bless.